I want to quickly talk to you about Mighty Networks versus Circle. So when we talk about Mighty Networks versus Circle, we're talking about community platforms, right? We're talking about a way for you to really monetize your community. As a creator, as a coach, as an online instructor, you want to really find ways to actually monetize your community and also keep them engaged, keep your members engaged. So let me first talk to you about what an online community platform really is, so we can have a clear understanding of where this conversation will lead in today's video. So an online community platform is actually a service that gives you robust tools to design and build a website for a group of people around a theme, topic, or idea, right? So when we talk about community, we're speaking about similar views. We're speaking about same topic. We're talking about the same focus, okay? So online communities are just like physical ones in that they are a group of like-minded people who have come together to achieve a common goal, right? So that unicity when it comes to goal is really important, okay? But online communities have a number of benefits that physical ones don't. They are more accessible to a wider range of people. Can you imagine somebody can be in Australia and be in your community if your community is based in New York? Somebody in Nigeria, in Brazil, so geography is not really a limitation anymore. And also, basically, online communities are much easier to grow because the digital elements let you bring more people in and deliver value at scale. You can leverage the technology to serve more people. So this is pretty cool. So if you're launching a community, you can really try all kinds of tools and features to see what works for you. So let's first talk about Mighty Networks versus Circle. Let's define what they are, what those platforms are. If you think about Mighty Networks, think about a community platform, an online course builder that actually allows you to do a lot of things, okay? So that's pretty good when it comes to flexibility. And Mighty lets you divide your content into relevant spaces so you can easily customize the options for each space to add, let's say, discussions, courses, events, live streaming, and more. What about Circle? Circle is a community platform that actually was designed to add a community component to your existing tech stack. It includes the option to create spaces for discussions, courses, events, or content. You can add text or video content to spaces. So that's pretty good from a start, from an initial point of view. So let's talk about Mighty Networks versus Circle. I want to show you real quick a comparison chart here. Okay, you can see actually a bird's eye view of those two platforms. I'm showing this to you on the screen here. Here is a quick table to summarize for you which one is good. I mean, what features are included. Okay, so this is really important here, and so you can really make a decision as to whether or not you want to go with one or the other. Okay, so let's talk. I'm going to let you look at this for a few minutes. And by the way, this data was actually, I would say, updated as of the date of this show, okay? So let's talk about the judgment criteria. Mighty Networks versus Circle, judgment criteria. So you have customization, you have feature set, you have monetization options, marketing and branding, mobile apps, and price. So when you think about customization and features, for instance, basically, you need to understand that you're looking at a few things like course creation, paid memberships, discussion boards, really important. You have polls, Q&As, right? You have member profiles, live streaming, video uploads, and more. For monetization options, you want to see whether or not you should be able to monetize your community with either platform, okay? For marketing and branding, you can also see how you can get your courses and community more, okay, in front of more people, okay? Email, notifications, landing pages, so those are things you want to compare. And in terms of mobile apps, you got to ask yourself, what is your audience? Your audience's preference? Okay, some audiences like to access data, access content via their smartphones. Others are comfortable going to a desktop, okay? And also pricing. So if you are going to compare Mighty Networks to Circle, you got to also look at the price, okay? So when I say price, it's not just about the number. It's about what's included in that number, right? So does a platform allow, for instance, for unlimited members, moderators, and courses, okay? You got to really pay attention to those things before assessing the price. So let's talk about Mighty Networks versus Circle, especially when it comes to customization and features. So if you think about Mighty Networks, you have a platform that has a set of features and customization options that actually are pretty comprehensive. Okay, so you are able, for instance, to see who is in your community, including who's near you, and members can also customize their profiles, and that's really good. Okay, also Mighty is designed to introduce members to each other. Okay, with AI features to help members build profiles, find interesting members and similarities, and start a conversation. And that's what you want to, okay? That's really what you want. So you are able to do a lot of things. For instance, for a course space, you can start with a pre-recorded course and build around it, or teach a live course. For a discussion space, you can lead with conversation tools. And for an event space, you can create an event space. So that's pretty good, okay? So that's really fantastic. So in short, if you think about Mighty, I want you to think about a tool that allows you to get things done pretty fast, especially on a scalable manner, okay? So let me talk about some features that you want to remember here when it comes to Mighty. You have live, robust, and branded mobile app and web access for both iOS and Android. You have live streaming capabilities, so you can go live directly across web and mobile apps and download the recording offer. Okay, you have engaging and exciting discussion boards that bring members together. You have spaces that let you sell content, courses, or events separately from your main group, each with its own discovery section and chat, so that's pretty good. You can upload directly and post pre-recorded videos, images, and audio clips within your Mighty network. You can also direct and group messages between community and subgroup members, so that's pretty good also. And you have an activity feed feature that makes it very easy for members to keep track of all the content that you are providing. And you can add also paywalls and different membership tiers. They are either community-wide or dedicated to a specific group or course. So what about Circle? If you think about Mighty Networks versus Circle, if you think about Circle, you have a pretty different business model. So Circle actually lets you create spaces that work to divide your conversation up. Okay, this is pretty good. So when you integrate your online community with Circle, you get a clean-looking community space that will be familiar to people who have used popular social media sites. Okay, so this is really good. Circle is pretty simple and has fewer features than Mighty Networks, but it's pretty, I would say, accessible, but also efficient. Okay, that's really good. And one thing I want to tell you here is that if you think about circles, there are some great features for you to remember here. For example, you can create private spaces within the community made for either a post, an event, a chat, a course, or sell or bundle access to these. Members can create their own profiles and browse a directory of other members. You can integrate existing content easily into your community space. And members can also access the community through an app. And you have a platform that integrates with other online course platforms like Teachable. So that's really good. That accessibility is really fantastic because if you're thinking about it, the last thing you want is to actually think about what will work for your community versus what will not work. Okay. And one thing I want to say here is that if you think about Circle, I want you to think first and foremost about accessibility and user friendliness. Okay. The platform really prides itself on user experience. So that's really fantastic. and you're able to get things done fast too. Not only you as a group owner, but also your members. Okay, and that's what you want. You want to create that kind of flexibility, that kind of autonomy, that kind of efficiency in the way you interact with your members, but also in the way your members actually interact among themselves. Okay, so that's kind of cool in terms of integration, actually. So if you think about Mighty Networks versus Circle, what's the difference? Okay, one thing you need to understand here is that both Mighty and Circle have good community building features. But one major difference, at least as of the date of this show, is actually their approach to spaces. Okay, Circle makes it complicated to bring things together in the same space. It can be hard to connect a course and community or an event and discussion because there are different types of spaces. Okay, Mighty Network, on the other hand, actually gives you a much simpler, in my view, much simpler user experience with dynamic spaces that lets you turn features on and off, okay, after you need them, okay? So this is kind of important. So you just need to remember that both let you build community courses and events using spaces, okay? But Mighty Network has everything you need to maximize engagement, live streaming apps for every phone, and beautiful and intuitive interfaces. Circle actually remains a great solution for you if you only need to add a community function to a teachable course. So in terms of monetization, let's talk about that. So when you create an online community and spaces with Mighty, you can make them free or charge a membership fee, okay, either monthly, yearly, quarterly, or at one time. This means you can charge for community access to certain spaces, or both, okay? So that's kind of cool. And you can also offer the same plan in 135 local currencies so you can better reach your global audience, okay? Or you can choose to charge with token gating. That's really good as well. So it's important to understand that when it comes to monetization, you can charge more. Okay, you can charge for more than just community. You can build and sell. You can sell online courses, for example, for members to purchase either by selling a pre-made course or pre-selling a cohort course you will teach live, or sell an event, or as always, you can bundle any or all of these things. Totally fantastic. Okay, so monetization on Mighty is pretty simple and flexible. What about Circle? Now, Circle has a similar paywalls feature for its communities, meaning that you can create plans and charge for access. This could include adding a paywall to the community itself, and that's a good one. You can choose specific spaces to add it to. Okay. They've also so that's kind of cool. So you can also launch. Circle has also recently launched courses, which lets you sell expertise too. Okay, so that's pretty good. You have the option to create the courses content, build an outline, and drag and drop course blocks, so you can turn on gating for a course space and monetize a course this way. So that's really cool. So overall, you have flexibility with Circle. You have the possibility to also scale real fast. So that's really good. So if you think about Mighty Networks versus Circle, let's talk about marketing. But before I speak about marketing, let me just give you the difference between those two when it comes to what I just spoke about. Both Mighty and Circle gives you ways to monetize communities, courses, and events. Mighty lets you charge in 135 currencies. Circle has only 6 as of the date of this show. Mighty also has token gating options, okay? So that's something to really think about. So now let's talk about marketing and branding. So when it comes to marketing, Mighty actually lets you build or instantly generate landing and sales pages. You can easily invite people to your community, manage plans and bundles, and grow your revenue. So that's kind of cool. And so that's a really fantastic, okay? And as far as building your brand, Mighty actually comes with a ton of customization tools, giving you control over the look and feel of your community at every level, okay? And so what about Circle? Circle gives you access to some marketing features like building different plans and creating landing pages for them, Like Mighty, Circle will send notifications, digest, and keep people up to date on what's happening in a community. Okay, Circle doesn't have a built-in email tool, so you wouldn't need to connect to an email software using Zapier, for instance. Okay, so the difference here is that as far as branding goes, Circle and Mighty both let you customize your theme with light and dark mode, adding brand assets or your own color scheme. Okay. Also, Circle and Mighty both give you an onboarding customization, letting you connect to your own domain name and more. Okay. And so that's pretty important. And Mighty's a convert kit feature makes it much easier to connect your email, let's say your email and community. Because if you think about it, ConvertKit has added Mighty widgets into their email software. Okay. So that's really important to think about it, especially when it comes to customization. And in terms of mobile app options, okay, Mighty Networks has actually developed powerful tools to make your online community available whenever and whatever. So this is really good. And Circle does the same thing too. This is really important to mention that. So Circle offers a clean and easy to navigate design for your online community website. And the web app works very well. And so this is really, really great. And one thing I want to say here is that at the end of the day, here we have a tie because both providers have done pretty well in terms of giving you access to their platform from a smartphone. So now let's talk about the branded app comparison. I want you to really look on the screen here. You can see that when it comes to comparing the branded app builders, Mighty Networks is really way ahead to Circle because, again, all the data I'm giving you is as of the date of this show, okay? But you can see that Mighty Pro actually offers more functionalities when it comes to branded apps than Circle, okay? But if branded apps is not a priority for you, that's not a problem. You can choose Circle. That's totally fine, okay? So this is important. What about price? Mighty Networks actually offers 5 different plans with 2 months free when you actually buy annual. So if you buy annual, you can save actually up to 30%. Okay. So you have community plans, courses plan, business plans, path to pro plans, and Mighty Pro plan. Okay. So this is really important. So if you have a Mighty Pro plan, you can get your own branded mobile apps. And this starts at about $20K a year. So you can see that basically, actually, I would say that Mighty Networks can be a little expensive, actually. Okay. Now, Circle has similar plans and price points to Mighty Networks with the same 2 months free. Okay. Basic, you're paying $49 a month and a 4% transaction fee. Professional, $99 a month and a 2% transaction fee. Business at $219 per month and a 1% transaction fee, and enterprise at $399 a month and a 0.5% transaction fee. Okay. So the difference here is that basically at the end of the day, you got to really ask yourself, can you scale with either or? And also the number of users, because basically those pricing tiers will limit you to the number of users, but also to the number of members. Okay. And you also got to ask yourself, what are the features that you're getting at each pricing tier? Things like AI, workflows, automations, okay? That's an important element to really think about it. But one thing I want to say for sure here is that at the end of the day, you got to really ask yourself, which features are important to you? Is it price? Is it accessibility? Is it user friendliness? So that's an important element, okay? Both platforms are pretty good in my view, in my judgment, and it all boils down to what kind of features you're looking for, okay, before choosing between Mighty Networks and Circle. Mighty Networks has its own fortes, and so does Circle, okay, and Mighty Networks also has its own drawbacks, and so does Circle. So at the end of the day, the choice will depend on your goals. If you have any question, let me know in the comments section. I'll let you know more based on your unique situation, which platform is better for you. Or maybe you should just go with another platform entirely. So in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about Mighty Networks versus Circle. I gave you the comparison trackers from features to pricing to emails to mobile app. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.